Well, not only are they recycling the same old story with this Halloween franchise, they're starting to recycle the titles. Yes, this is the third movie I've reviewed called Halloween. Stop it. What is up, everyone? We're back again with another review. And this is going to be the 2018 film Halloween, otherwise known as Halloween 2018, and this is directed by David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer and Andi Matichak. This tells the story 40 years after the events of the original 1978 film, where Michael Myers breaks out of prison transport and faces off against his nemesis Laurie Strode once again. Well, this is the first in David Gordon Green's revamp or reinvention of the Halloween franchise, whatever you want to call it, and I haven't seen it since it was released, and I remember being a little bit let down back then. I thought it was okay, but I just wanted a little bit more, and maybe I built myself up too much for that movie when it came out. But what did I think on rewatch? Let's find out. And before we do, as you can tell by my intro, I hate this title. I hate it. Well, I think retconning the whole franchise to make this movie wasn't the worst decision in the world. A lot of people hated Rob Zombie's take and his direction with them Halloween films that he made. Not myself included. I am actually a fan of Halloween too. But the studios just weren't going to go for another Halloween film by him. And Halloween Resurrection was just not a very good movie at all, was it? I mean, the less said about that one, the better. But I do feel like this was all a ploy to bring Jamie Lee Curtis back. I think they feel the film would have done more with her on the posters and stuff. And they're probably right, because this film did actually do well at the box office. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because she has worked into the story quite well, actually. It's kind of like H2O, where Michael's just been this thorn in her side since that original 1978 night. That fateful night in her life where Michael just came after her. But the difference here is, in H2O, she's kind of worried, she's scared, and she's just dreading the return of Michael. And here she is dreading the return of Michael as well, but she's also got this Sarah Connor vibe going for it, where she's been training for him, she's ready for him, she's also gonna face up to him, she's not just gonna run away. And I thought that was a really good direction to go in, actually. Added to that, she's kind of alienated her family as well. She's not a pleasant person to be around for her daughter and stuff, and they've kind of given up on her, except her granddaughter Alison, who is really the only one championing to get her life back on track. But it's not just a gimmick here to have Jamie Lee Curtis back, so she is an integral part of the story of Halloween 2018. And I did like Alison too. I thought she was a good secondary protagonist to get behind, not just because of her kind nature towards her grandmother, Laurie Strode, but she also seemed to have a little bit of a leader attitude about her. I mean, she takes charge at times, especially towards the end, where she just takes a knife to Michael there before the brilliant climax of this movie. But she just seems to have her head screwed on, and I kind of liked when her character was on screen. This is a film, all in all, though, that just follows the simple Halloween template. Michael Myers escapes from his shackles or custody or whatever you want to call it and comes after Laurie Strode. Seen that before, haven't we? But this is, in fact, still a positive, actually, because as much as I like the different takes, especially Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, and at the time of the recording I have seen Halloween Ends, which I also liked, this story path just works for this franchise, doesn't it? And I don't mind it. I mean, especially when it's sprinkled with all these magical, nice little touches that are in this movie. It's an extra bonus. For one, the whole cinematography here and visual look captured by David Gordon Green and his crew is spot on. It definitely feels like a Halloween night should feel in this movie, with the atmosphere and everything, the whole look of it, the decorations around Haddonfield, and it captured the holiday season a lot more than the other Halloween films, I feel. I think this one may have got it right and better than all of them ones that came before it, and it definitely gave off a spooky feel. Michael Myers is just awesome here too, not just visually. I mean, he does look awesome, the mask is spot on, but James Jude Courtney just done a fantastic job of portraying this character. I don't think there's been too many bad Michael Myers, in all honesty, but he is up there with the best, I feel. He's relentless, he's brutal. I mean, Michael Myers in this film is an evil motherfucker, man. I mean, he even kills a kid at one point. Now, combining two of the positives I've just said with David Gordon Green's visual look, more so with directing here, with Michael Myers. There's a scene in this film where Michael Myers is sort of blending through the crowd in Haddonfield, and he decides to walk into a house and just kill someone with a hammer. It's all off screen, but we know what's happening. Sometimes less is more, isn't it? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a prime example of that. And then he walks into the next house and just kills this woman with a knife right through her neck there. But what is so great about this scene is it's all done to look like one take. David Gordon Green just points the camera in all the right places. And I just thought it was absolutely awesome. Probably my favourite scene in the entire film. The film is just littered with incredible moments as well. I mean, some of my favourite Halloween moments in the franchise are in this film. The toilet scene where he just pours the teeth over that cubicle before he kills that woman, and it proceeds to show us how he obtains his mask back. That just looks great when he puts the mask on there, and you just know Michael Myers is back. The whole babysitter scene where the young kid says there's a monster in his closet, and the babysitter just does that thing where, oh yeah, I'll go and check it and stuff. But Michael Myers is really in there. I love that scene. And also the climax as well. I mean, with the whole fire trap in the basement and stuff like that. There's just so many awesome moments in this movie, and I was baffled to why I thought I was so disappointed first time around. Can I just say as well, that moment where Michael threw Laurie off the balcony and then he looks over and Laurie is gone, which resonates with the first movie but switches it up. I thought that was so cool, and I totally forgot about that scene. I thought, oh, that is clever, man. The score here is awesome as well. It might be my second favourite score in the entire Halloween series, because the first one is perfection. I don't usually like it when you mess with perfection, but they tinkered it just a tiny bit there and it all worked. I got goosebumps when I heard this theme once again at the start of the film. I do feel this film is very well paced too. Despite all these negatives I'm about to say here, this film was never dull or boring, and I was entertained throughout. I had a blast with this movie, and it kind of flew by. However, this film is far from perfect, and it has a lot of flaws for me. Firstly, I gotta say the biggest negative of this film is when the Doctor does this U-turn and tries to become like Michael Myers. I don't know if he's trying to understand him more by wanting to become this serial killer or whatever, but I was just watching it going, man, this is embarrassing. Who made this decision? How did this get into the movie? Why did they think this was a good idea? It just felt so out of place, and I get that it's meant to be a twist, but not all twists are good, and this one definitely wasn't. I mean, the whole scene is pathetic when he stabs someone there and he just says, is this what it feels like? And then puts the Myers mask on. I was like, oh no, no. It's a terrible, terrible scene in the movie. And if there was any point that I wasn't enjoying myself in this film, this was it. I hate this scene. I hate it. The dialogue is just a big issue here as well. If him saying, what does this feel like? Is this what it feels like? Putting the Myers mask on wasn't bad enough. We've also got two cops talking about peanut butter jelly sandwiches. It was just a waste of screen time, a waste of a scene. I'm just thinking, what the fuck are these talking about? We also have the father, Alison's father, spilling a bit of peanut butter there, and he says in front of his daughter, I got peanut butter on my penis. And I'm just like, is this a fucking Halloween film or what? I mean, there's just so many stupid things. There's another bit where this fat kid saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean this. I mean, I'm sorry I'm late. I think he's late or something. And he says, these girls were feeding me guacamole in all these sexy ways. And I'm just like, who fucking does that? What? Was he imagining that because he loves guacamole so much? Or was they really doing that? Because no one does that. Why guacamole? I was really left scratching my head here. And I don't know if it was Danny McBride writing these moments in, because I think there was a few writers on this film and he was in charge of the comedy, but it wasn't funny. And I don't know why we have to put so much comedy in horror movies. I get if it's a comedy horror, but Halloween isn't. Stop it.
Made an arrangement with the Vietnamese folks at the restaurant and had them make you your very own peanut butter and jelly banh mi sandwich.
Now, I know they retconned the entire franchise here, and I said it wasn't a bad idea, and it wasn't, but I just kind of wish they would have left the Halloween 2 movie in there for a couple of reasons. One is because I do think that it would have been more believable that Laurie was training for like 40 years there, because I get that it's a bad event where 3 people are killed and she was a survivor, but the fact that Loomis shot Michael Myers over the balcony, he escaped and went on another rampage after Laurie again, killing about 10 people in that movie, would have made it a hell of a lot more believable that Laurie was waiting for him all these years and living her whole life in fear. It wouldn't have just been a random event. It actually happened twice that night. So I do believe that she would have had every right there to believe Michael was going to come after her once again. Also, taking away the brother aspect, that Michael and Laurie are brother and sister, I don't think that was a good idea. I really like that connection in Halloween 2, and it just takes away even less of a reason for Michael to come after Laurie in this movie. It's kind of back at step 1 there. So yeah, I just kind of wish they would have left it in. Would have hurt so much to leave it in. Also, within the first half an hour, 40 minutes of this film, Michael Myers has killed more people, or as many people as he did in the original 78 film. So it would have made it more believable that he was this brutal, brutal killer if they included the second movie there. But oh well, that's the way David Gordon Green went. Also, when Laurie gets word that Michael has actually escaped and is coming to Haddonfield, she goes to warn her daughter, and her daughter doesn't want to know, and she's like, look, I'm sick of you and all this, and just easily throws her out the house. Now, Laurie has been waiting all her life for Michael Myers to come out and go after her family, and she just gives up that easy. She's thrown out the house by this fragile daughter that she's got. I mean, you could have put up more of a fight, Laurie. You're about to take on Michael Myers, and this is the one moment you've been waiting for, and you're not going to try a little bit harder to protect your family. It just felt very off. There's also a good few horror cliches in here. Phones breaking throughout the movie, so people can't be contacted or call anyone for help. Halloween costumes getting caught on spikes when people are getting chased. Babysitters falling over when they're getting chased by Michael. I mean, I thought we were past all this shit. Also, who comes up with these ideas of transferring Michael Myers on Halloween night or the night before Halloween night to another hospital? They've done it in Halloween 4, and this is his night. This is the night he kills on. It's not really a negative for me because I do understand that it's probably got to work with the story. It's just a stupid decision by the people in charge now, isn't it? I also love in this movie how the sheriff is warned that Michael Myers has escaped. He's on his way to Haddonfield and he's left dead bodies in his way. And the sheriff goes, okay, we'll take care of it. I mean, what are we going to do, man? Cancel Halloween. And then walks away laughing. And I'm like, yeah, man, fucking cancel Halloween, you dope. However, I still had a really fun time with this film. It's gone up in my estimation a lot more than it used to be. And despite the problems, I was having a fun time throughout this entire runtime. Okay, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and rate this movie now. I'm going to give Halloween 2018 a 7.5 out of 10. A good entry into the franchise from David Gordon Green there. Okay, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for Halloween 2018 is that Michael Myers is listed in the credits here as the Shape, like he was in the original 78 film. I don't get that. I'm just going to admit it now. Just fucking name him Michael Myers in the credits. Why the Shape? Why? No one calls him that. Okay, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. Don't forget, I have reviewed every single Halloween movie in this franchise on the channel. This link will be in the description to that playlist. I know I've done this a little bit out of order, but I just couldn't get these done in time before Halloween ends. But they're all in there, and I have ranked every single movie in this franchise, and that video will be down below as well in that playlist. So don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It would really help me out. Let me know what you thought of Halloween 2018. And take it all easy, guys. I'll see you on the next video.